Alrighty, folks. Just did a video about SIP messaging with damn Foss drives. So I figured this would be a good time to just kind of go over this pretty quick. So, um, it's pretty easy. Danfoss makes it absolutely phenomenal. I'm not a Danfoss affiliate by any means. I've just been using their products and Vacon for a long time, and sometimes there's videos lacking on how to do this. I have their software here, and it's completely free, by the way. You can just go on their website. You can just go to danfoss.com or type in VLT motion control, and then you click on the My Drive Suite, and then in here it tells you if you want to do the free version. So the free version, what it does is it just if you want to use the drive scope, it only allows for like one or two channels, and that's about it. And then you can just say, get it and download it, or you can buy the license. That it's like $100 if you want to do a whole bunch of channels in the scope. So instead of, if you want to do like position and amps and volts, and if you want to build a giant ass graph, you can go about doing it that way. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and open it up, and here on my home PC, I just had the basic version, and so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, and then we're going to do a new project. We're going to do an empty project, and then we're going to do I right clicked on that, and we're going to do a new drive. And the drive, I like using the IMC, which is the positioning control. Uh, so we can just select this one here, voltage, if we're going to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Ethernet IP, since that's what we have been doing as a group here on this channel. And then we're going to do the MCB 102, the standard encoder card. Nothing fancy here. We're doing the, I mean, you can put this in. Uh, we're just doing something real simple here. Um, and that's about it. And so now, what we have here is our project tree that we've loaded up. We're just going to do an 11 kilowatt drive here because all the parameters are the same. It doesn't matter if it's, a 200 kilowatt or medium voltage or anything like that. Just as long as we pick out our communication card and our Ethernet card, and then we have our parameter set. So in the previous video where I talked about where I said, oh well, you know, it has all these different parameter sets, right? 6 and then 16 in the parameter set where I said 16 and then 1690. And so this was that 16 alarm word right now. I'm obviously not connected to a drive. So this is the parameter that we picked out in the previous video that I did earlier today, about 20 minutes ago. This is the parameter that I was reading from. And then if you change it to 1691, you would get this one. And you could just read all of those there. But let's go to when I in the CODESYS, when I had picked out the connection of 103 to 105, and I said you could change it to words or you could do anything like that, you would come here to parameter group number 12, and you would select this, and it says process data here, right? And so now we have the write, and then we have the reads. So and all of the produced and consumes, whether it be Allen Bradley or CODESYS or anything like that, this is where we would get that. Especially on the connection that I picked was the 103/153. So the field bus control word, this is your drive control word, and this is your reference. So this is going to be your speed reference. So however many RPMs, or if you're dealing with a gearbox or anything else, the manual will tell you how to go about doing those calculations to get this number right. Uh, so, with that being said, if there is a 32-bit word, 32-bit uh, item that you need. Let's say like the position, right? So if we want to write a position, so if we want to go from point 0 to, let's say, 68,000 and some change, right? Because our encoder count is counting past an integer. What you would do is you always want to start this on an even number. So this is that index attribute value that I was telling you about. So this is 1221.2. So we would go into here, and I just double clicked on that. And so then we would check our parameters. And so what we want to do is we want to scroll down, and we want to find our field bus position reference. This is right here, parameter 1683. So if we only select one of these, the Dan Foss software will only treat this as an integer. And so you have to select it again. And now it will see it as a 32-bit. So that way you can get your maximum coder count. I think just off the top of my head, it's like 2,147,000,000 and yada, 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 right? It's a big, giant ass number. And then if you want to read the position, we would do the same. So we would come down here and we would say actual position. And then we would do actual position again. So now, when you go to read that, when you set it up in CODESYS, and I'll make another video about that, but see, now you're going to get a true 32-bit actual position reference of what your drive encoder is actually reading in the position you're actually at. And then if up here where you want to write your field position, we have them both labeled here. So that way now it's already reserved. This right here is a 32-bit, but this is reserved. And so this comes from Dan Foss, so it's not placed double here. So sometimes that can get a little confusing for people who are not very familiar with it. But the next one down, if we wanted to read anything, we could actually just so my apologies. This is the right. So if we wanted to write something, let's see here, we could do a homing position. So if you want to set your encoder to a specific home value when you want to reset it, this is what you would do if you want to home the drive. So we could just select this, so there's our home position. And then if we wanted to write something else, if you wanted to write your jog speed, hertz up or down, uh, if you've got weird gearbox things going on, you could do your numerator and denominator. These are 32 bits, so you would need to do something with that unless it's really small and you don't need that. Or you could actually tell it to change what you want it to do, like it in the control word if you're going to do like changing speeds or anything like that. So then if we come down here to read, if we wanted to read something from the drive, if we wanted to read back the control word, we could do that. But if we wanted to read the target, so let's say we set a target and then we want to read it to in our PLC to be sure that we got that back, we would hit target position again, and then based on your encoder values or anything like that, then we would select that again, so that way it would be a 32-bit. Then if we wanted uh, to read a singular, how many times it ran, how many times it's the running hours, whatever that was. Our position error, if you wanted to track how completely accurate it was during a run, your motor voltage, your frequency, your motor current. If you wanted to monitor your torque in Newton meters, and then you just multiply it, but I think it's like 0.76 or whatever, to change it to foot pounds, if you wanted to do that, or if you wanted to monitor the speed. Now, the speed can be plus or minus, so you could do this both if you're not using a reversing bit, and that just gets into a lot of other crazy stuff which we can get into. If you want to leave a comment, we can go over that as well. But you can just read back the RPMs, and then in the PLC do an absolute value if you wanted to see if your VFD is going forward or reverse or anything like that. So you would just select that, and then uh, I'll make another video where how to set that up in the Ethernet IP section in the previous video where we had added that in there. But if you have any other questions, please feel free. Give it a like. Please comment on the video. I won't know uh, if I'm doing okay or not. I'm messing around with a couple of the settings. No, I had one comment saying, they couldn't see very well. The OBS is trying to output it into a general platform, I guess, that majority of people have. So, once again, peace, love, and happiness. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great evening.